Floyd Money, Mayweather just filed a $340 million lawsuit claiming his own team robbed him blind. And 50 Cent is having an absolute field day on Instagram roasting him about it. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars vanishing from the biggest pay-per-view fights in boxing history, secret bank accounts, documents lost in a flood, and the ultimate, I told you so moment from his biggest enemy. This is absolutely insane. Let me break down exactly what happened. So here's the setup. Floyd Mayweather, 50 wins, 0 losses, literally nicknamed Money, made over $1.2 billion during his boxing career. That's billion with a B. He's the highest paid boxer in history. He fought Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, Canelo Alvarez. These were the biggest pay-per-view events ever. But according to legal documents filed just yesterday in California, at least $340 million of that money never made it to Floyd's bank account. And the craziest part, he's not suing the guy who allegedly stole it. Let me explain. On February 3rd, 2026, literally 2 days ago, Floyd filed a massive lawsuit against Showtime Sports and their former president Stephen Espinoza. The lawsuit claims they participated in, quote, a long-running and elaborate scheme of financial fraud. Here's how the scam allegedly worked. The players, Floyd Mayweather, the victim, Al Heyman, Floyd's manager and advisor for over a decade, Showtime Sports, the network that broadcast his fights, and Stephen Espinoza, Showtime Sports president. The scheme, instead of paying Floyd directly for his fights, Showtime would wire his money to accounts that were supposedly Floyd's, but they were actually controlled by Al Heyman. Banking records show transfers worth tens of millions labeled as loan repayment or expenses going to companies owned by Heyman called Allen Heyman Development. One example, $15 million transferred on a random date with just the memo expenses. No explanation, just expenses. After Floyd's biggest fights, we're talking Pacquiao, McGregor, these record-breaking events, huge chunks of money would disappear into these accounts within days. Now here's where it gets really sketchy. In 2024, Floyd switched management teams. His new team said, hey, can we see the financial breakdowns from the Pacquiao fight and the McGregor fight? Showtime's response? Nah, we can't produce those. They claimed the statute of limitations had run out on the 2015 fights, so they didn't have to show anything. But when Floyd's team pushed harder, Al Heyman, remember, this is the guy who allegedly stole the money, told Floyd that the records were, quote, lost due to a flood in a storage facility. A flood. They're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in the most documented, most televised, most scrutinized sporting events in history. And the paperwork got lost in a flood. The lawsuit also reveals that Heyman would alter dates on contracts, only show Floyd certain documents to hide the real numbers, and inflated expense reimbursements. One fight showed a $20 million reimbursement that nobody can explain. Okay, so here's the part that has everyone confused. Al Heyman, the guy who allegedly orchestrated this entire scheme, the guy who supposedly funneled $340 million into his own accounts, the guy who said the records were lost in a flood, is not named as a defendant in this lawsuit. Let me repeat that. Floyd is suing Showtime and Stephen Espinoza, but not the actual guy who took the money. Legal experts are scratching their heads. Some theories. Theory 1, there might be a separate lawsuit coming for Heyman. Theory 2, Floyd's trying to go after the deep pockets first. Showtime has way more money than Heyman. Theory 3, there's some legal or personal reason Floyd can't or won't sue Heyman directly. Nobody knows for sure. But it's weird. What we do know, Floyd's attorney Bobby Samini released a statement saying, quote, Floyd is one of boxing's biggest pay-per-view draws. He generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue for Showtime. Mr. Mayweather now takes this fight to the courtroom to recover what he rightfully earned. Retiring undefeated at 50-0, Mr. Mayweather will go the distance in the courtroom just as he has in the ring. Showtime fired back with their own statement calling the claims baseless and saying they lack legal or factual merit. This is gonna get ugly. But wait, there's more. Because the second this news broke, 50 Cent, Floyd's biggest rival and former best friend, jumped on Instagram and absolutely destroyed him. Here's what 50 posted. Oh no, don't cry now, champ. They beat you out of $320 million, you dumma. I told you let me read the contracts, now lace up. You gotta look good fighting, Mike. Then maybe we can get Bud to beat your A for some big money. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. The history, 50 Cent and Floyd used to be best friends. They were business partners, they hung out constantly, they were inseparable in the early 2010s. But around 2012, things went south. They had a falling out over failed business deals, allegedly unpaid loans, and just ego clashes. Since then, 50 has been relentlessly trolling Floyd on social media. We're talking years of this. 50 once offered Floyd $750,000 to read one page of a Harry Potter book, implying Floyd can't read. He's mocked Floyd's spelling, his intelligence, his financial decisions, everything. But this is the ultimate vindication for 50. Because apparently, years ago, 50 Cent warned Floyd about Al Heyman. He literally told Floyd, "Let me read your contracts," and Floyd refused. And now, $340 million gone. 50 even took a shot at Floyd's upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, saying, "You gotta look good fighting, Mike," basically implying Floyd needs the money now. So where does this go from here? The legal battle. Floyd is seeking the $340 million plus punitive damages. If he wins, this could be one of the biggest payouts in sports legal history. But legal experts say it's gonna be tough to prove. Showtime will argue they paid exactly who Floyd told them to pay, which was technically true. They paid the accounts Floyd's team designated. The statute of limitations could also be a problem for the older fights. The 50 Cent angle. This beef is not going away. 50 is gonna milk this for MONTHS. Every time there's an update in the case, 50 is gonna be in the comments roasting Floyd. The money angle. Here's the crazy thing. Even if Floyd is down $340 million, he's still ridiculously rich. He owns a ton of real estate, he's got investments everywhere, and he can still make $100+ million from exhibition fights. He's reportedly fighting Mike Tyson in March 2026 in Africa, which could bring in another massive payday. But the fact that Money Mayweather, the guy who literally made his nickname about being rich, got allegedly scammed out of hundreds of millions, that's the ultimate irony. Final thought, this case is gonna be one to watch. We've got fraud allegations, secret accounts, a flood that destroyed records, and the pettiest rapper alive waiting to pounce on every update. Floyd's lawyer says he'll go the distance, in court just like he did in the ring. But unlike his boxing career where he was 50-0, this fight, he might actually lose. If you found this breakdown insane, drop a like on this video. I'm gonna be covering every update in this case as it develops. And if you want to see my breakdown of other celebrity money disasters, check out the video I'm dropping tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you in the next one.